So Tyson Fury has just had his press conference for the upcoming fight against Usyk. What do we think? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to Me Edson. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, Tyson Fury just had his press conference, and I think it went across 3 different broadcast media. I think it was all on YouTube anyway, but it went across Sky Sports, TNT, and also DAZN. But it just seemed to be that it was like a Tyson Fury extravaganza because Usyk wasn't there, right? Turkey Al-Sheikh did a kind of phone-in well wish as well, which is quite comical, really. But look, it was held in Tyson Fury's hometown, Morecambe, at the football ground, which he was linked with a couple of years ago, wasn't he, to try and buy it. And it might even be a little plaything for him, but you know what they say about football clubs, you know, it's you start off with a few billion and you end up with nothing. So it's probably not the wisest of investments, but there we go. Let's get back to the boxing, shall we? I've got to say, I thought this was, whilst it was the Tyson Fury show, because Usyk wasn't there, right? It was a much, much better version of Tyson Fury, I thought. Even on the DAZN broadcast, Adi Oladipo, I think he said it as well. This is a much better version of you. I'm not sure exactly what he was meaning by that, but for me, Tyson Fury looked fit. He looked fitter. He looked on point. And he wasn't aggressive in his chat. He was kind of playful, but, you know, but meaningful at the same time. I think his manager was getting a bit arsey with some of the comments that people have been making. You know, his dad was piping in. John Fury was piping in with some opinions as well. I couldn't really hear what he was saying. I'm sure we have videos of exactly what he was saying to come. But he seemed to be saying, from what I could tell, that, and Tyson Fury was even saying this himself, look, Usyk is a great fighter, and even if I beat him, or when I beat him, right, don't anybody say that he's a shit fighter, rubbish fighter, because he's a great fighter. And I've always said that, you know, most people with their head screwed on, right, will say he's a fantastic fighter, right? But I think even John Fury was saying, look, this is gonna, you know, 2 great technicians, 2 great fighters in there. You know, he thinks, you know, I think he said he'll have him out there, knock him out there in the 10th or 11th round. But it'll be a fight before then as well, and 2 great boxers. And I kind of feel exactly the same. His Sugar Hill was kind of saying that around about round 8, I think it was, or it'll be a knockout. I think his manager Spencer, I think he said it'll be round 8 as well. I mean, this is all guesswork, right? I mean, who knows? It'll come when it comes, right? The knockout, if indeed it does. But will he be easy to hit, Usyk? He's a smaller guy, but I don't think he's that much smaller than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury seems to be, you know, very confident in his own abilities and very confident in how he's going to be able to match up against Usyk. And his size, he thinks, is going to play a really big factor. And he was talking about all these other cruiserweights and light heavyweights who've gone up to heavyweight and just couldn't match the size and the build. And that's right. I mean, he has a really good point there. But he seems to be really focused on this. He seems to have trained. He seems to acknowledge there's a real danger here. Whereas in other fights where he probably hasn't trained that well, and he's come in a bit overweight, or a lot overweight in some cases. And, you know, he's taking care of business, but it's almost like he hasn't been fulfilled. Whereas against the Wilder and the Klitschko fights, but certainly the Wilder fights as well, he knew what he was up against. He knew there was a real danger there, so he sort of trained for it as well. He prepared, and he looked the part as well. And this fight, I get the impression that he's in a much better headspace. He seems to be laser focused. He's playful but meaningful. Okay, Usyk wasn't there, so they couldn't have this to and fro, you know, face to face, as it were. They've had it before, of course, but it just seemed to be, you know, a more well-rounded boxer now, going in for the fight of his life. Now, whether he wants to claim it is, I think it is. I think a lot of the pundits there, and Ade with Ade Oladipo and Barry Jones, and you know, they were all saying it. They were all asking, you know, is this kind of the biggest fight of your life and all that sort of stuff? And then Tyson Fury and the whole team were kind of downplaying it a little bit. Well, no, not really, and all that sort of stuff. I think it is. It is for the opponent, the quality of the opponent that he has in Usyk. in that, many people say is kind of the pound for pound best out there, and kind of, I would say that. But Tyson Fury has a point. He has a point that Alexander Usyk really hasn't had that. He's now entering the top level heavyweights. And yeah, I know he's taken, Joshua out twice. But would he take the current Joshua out of the picture? He's also older now as well. So, things could be leaning towards Tyson Fury as well. I'm not 100% sure which way this is going to go. I really don't know. I flip-flop between the two. I thought it was Usyk, and I kind of look at Tyson Fury, and I kind of weigh it up in my mind a little bit more, and I kind of think, well, he the things that he says and the advantages that he has over Usyk, it could be his night. It could be his night. And who knows what the strategy is going to be, what the tactics is going to be. Who knows if he's going to get him out of there in a couple of rounds, or it's going to take 8 rounds, 11 rounds. Who knows if it's going to be a slugfest. Who knows if it's going to be a war of attrition. Who knows? We just don't know. But, it'd be very interesting to see how they match up in the next few weeks, what kind of footage that we have of them, and what the final build-up's going to be. Tyson Fury says he's going to go out to Saudi in maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time. No firm date yet. Get acclimatized as well. I assume that Usyk could be doing very much the same if he's not already there. So it's a fantastic matchup between these two. Who's going to be the very best? But it's really notable that Tyson Fury is kind of really dismissive of AJ. In terms of future fights as well, and in terms of, well, if he beats Usyk, he beats him. If he doesn't beat him, he loses. He was kind of quite pragmatic about it, and that's one thing I will say about Tyson Fury, to the cameras at least. He will kind of say this stuff. Well, he beats me, he beats me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's whatever happens on the night. So I think he's looking at this in a kind of very logical way, very pragmatic way. But overall, he's worked it out mentally to say, no, there's no way that this guy can beat me. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him because of all these extra, attributes that I have. And one of the biggest things is size. I got size over him. So I'm not 100% sure with Tyson Fury on that, whether the size is going to be a big issue. I think Usyk is going to be difficult to hit, and he's going to be difficult to manage, and the work rate is going to be difficult to manage. So that's why Tyson Fury really has to take this guy seriously. And obviously I think he does, and you can tell in his body shape that he is taking it really, really seriously. I just don't know which way it's going to go. That's the thing. But I suppose I wanted to make this video because the final thought I was having when I was watching it, I was thinking, what are we actually watching here? What am I watching here? Why am I watching a press conference where it's just Tyson Fury and his team talking about the fight ahead, and we haven't got the other guy there? And it just seemed to be a little bit pointless. I know they've got to do it, and I know they've got to do it to, capture the imagination of people, the boxing fans. And look, I'm making a video about it, right? So I suppose we're perpetuating it. I suppose it is working from that point of view. But it just didn't seem to be, it seemed a bit pointless, really. It seemed like a TV exercise rather than having any merit to it, apart from showing how good Tyson Fury is talking, how he's looking, how he's feeling about the fight, and how everybody else seems to be feeling about the fight. There were a few errs of caution, of course there were in the press conference, but at the same time it was all very positive from Tyson Fury's point of view. But there's no rebuttal there, is there? There's nobody saying at the other side of the table, saying, hold on a minute, don't count your chickens before they hatch type thing. But listen, that's what boxing's about. That's what combat sports are about. You can say what you want to say. You can talk as much crap as you want. You can be as confident as you want. And we know what's what when you step into the ring. When you go toe-to-toe with somebody and you see exactly what you're made of and what they're made of and how it works out on the night. And that's all we can say, really. But I thought Tyson Fury looked good. He was definitely talking the talk, and he had a lot of confidence, and he was using confidence. And this is a much nicer, better version of Tyson Fury. I'm not saying Tyson Fury has to be a gentleman, or any boxer has to be a gentleman, of course, in front of the cameras. But I think sometimes he just goes over the top with some of his antics. And I think this is a much, much more measured and playful Tyson Fury as opposed to a bit of an arse at times. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you watched the press conference, what did you think of it? If you haven't watched it, go watch it and let us know your thoughts as well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. Bye now.